Welcome to Messianic Moments. Today I want to talk to you about boundaries. When Israel conquered Canaan, the Holy Land, God set up physical boundaries for each of the 12 tribes. And at Mount Sinai, he gave the Israelites moral boundaries. The Word of God still defines boundaries, and we are commanded not to move the boundary markers. We need boundaries in order to deal with people who are manipulative, narcissistic, or have a poor self sense of worth. One of the biggest challenges that people have with boundaries is figuring out what to do when someone repeatedly violates them. Godly boundaries stem from an understanding of who we are in Him and a refusal to be defined as anything less. Godly boundaries lovingly offer choices to others rather than attempting to control them. Godly examples of healthy boundaries clearly communicate their expectations and the reasons behind them. A boundary is something you set for yourself. A rule is something you set for someone else. One way to identify your boundaries is to think about the areas of your life where you're experiencing problems. Do you constantly feel exhausted? Do you feel uncomfortable around a coworker? Do you feel resentful of your mother's or your mother-in-law's intrusions? Each of these problems is telling you that you are lacking boundaries in this area of your life. So I want to talk about a few boundaries in more specificity. Number one, physical boundaries. Physical boundaries protect your space and body, your right not to be touched, to have privacy, and to meet your physical needs, such as resting or eating. They tell others how close they can get to you, what kind of physical touch, if any, is okay, how much privacy you need, and how to behave in your personal space. A physical boundary clearly defines that your body and personal space belong to you. For example, when someone sits uncomfortably close to you, you move away or say, I need a little more personal space. Number two, sexual boundaries. Sexual boundaries protect your right to consent, to ask for what you like sexually, to find what kind of touch and intimacy you want, how often, when, and where. Period. Number three, emotional or mental boundaries are the boundaries that protect your right to have your own feeling and thoughts, to not have your feelings criticized or invalidated, and not have to take care of other people's feelings. Emotional boundaries differentiate your feelings from other people's, so you are accountable for your own feelings, but not responsible for how others feel. Very important. Also, emotional boundaries allow us to create emotional safety by respecting each other's feelings and not oversharing personal information that's inappropriate for the nature or level of closeness in the relationship. For example, I don't feel comfortable discussing this. Or, I feel embarrassed and powerless when you chastise me in front of the kids. I'd like you to stop. Number four, spiritual or religious boundaries. Spiritual boundaries protect your right to believe in what you want, worship as you wish, and practice your spiritual or religious beliefs without criticism from others. This is especially important to Jewish members of the Messianic community whose relatives are constantly challenging their beliefs. Number five, Financial and material boundaries. These are boundaries that protect your resources and possessions, your right to spend your money as you choose, to not give or loan your money or possessions if you don't want to, and your right to be paid by an employer as agreed. Example, I'm on a budget, so I brought my lunch from home and I won't be ordering lunch today. Number 6, time boundaries. These boundaries protect how you spend your time. They protect you from agreeing to do things you don't want to do, having people waste your time, and being overworked. For example, I reserve my evenings for family time. I'll respond to all work emails first thing in the morning. Or, Dad, I don't have time to take you shopping this week. I'll place an order for you with the grocery delivery service. Number 7, non-negotiable boundaries. These are boundaries that are deal breakers, things that you absolutely must have in order to feel safe. They usually pertain to safety issues such as physical violence, emotional abuse, drug or alcohol use, fidelity, and life-threatening health issues. For example, Mom, if you don't install a fence around your pool, my children will not be able to come to your house. Or, for example, infidelity is a deal breaker for me, and I will not continue in this relationship if you cheat on me. We all need some non-negotiable boundaries, but we also need to be careful that we don't put out too many of our boundaries. If a non-negotiable boundary is going to have any meaning, you have to be willing to follow through on it. It's counterproductive to set non-negotiable boundaries that you don't enforce. Clearly express when you feel overwhelmed, ignored, or unheard. If you're afraid to say no, start saying, I'll get back to you, or I'll pray about it and get back to you. And think about things before you provide an answer. Let your friends know that you have personal goals and dreams that you are working toward. For additional information on this topic, see Boundaries by Henry Cloud and John Townsend, available at Amazon in both Kindle and softcover editions. Thank you for tuning in to Messianic Moments. God bless you all. Until next time, shalom, shalom.
And some glad morning I'll take flight to the house of the risen sun. House of the risen